over. Actually, I might use the other one. I should have gotten more paper. Yeah, we'll do this one. We're going to flip it over and use the back. We're going to fold it in half so that our brain waves are in the middle. There we go. Okay. So you should have a little book with your brain waves in the middle, and we're going to open it up and place it face down. That's just so we have a line in the middle. And then we're going to go on to the next one. And this is the last one I wanted to do for today. I just think this is another really good one. It says, fold a piece of paper in half. On one side, represent one thing you like about yourself, and on the other side, draw one thing you would like to change. You can also write this if you don't feel like super confident in your ability to put your feelings on paper with just color. You can use words. Sometimes I feel like removing the specific aspect of like, oh, I need to draw it perfectly can be really helpful. So if that includes just using words, you're welcome to do that as well. But for people who like to try representing something in kind of an art form, go for it. So one thing that you like about yourself, and on the other side, draw one thing you would like to change. Notice it doesn't say something you hate about yourself. Let's not hate ourselves. It says one thing you would like to change. And what do you like about yourself, and what do you want to change? Which side of the paper is emphasized, and how can you begin changing undesirable actions, lifestyles, relationships, and or traits? So let's just start by drawing the one thing you like about yourself and one thing that you would like to change. I'll just give it a minute here for us to do that. Okay, I'm just going to give it a couple more seconds here for you to draw one thing that you like about yourself and one thing that you would like to change. And then we'll just take a little look at it and just notice. How did it end up? I don't like to take too long with these exercises because sometimes we can like really, really get too involved in it and be really focused on, oh, I need to make it right. But this is, again, more about the experience of doing this. So we drew the one thing that we like about ourselves, or you could do multiple things. Just something that you like about yourselves, things that you like about yourself on one side, and things you would like to change on the other. And then the way that this ended up for me was, well, I've got my random coloring on the back, so, but this was the side, sorry, I've got two cameras happening. This was the side that was things I liked about myself. Yeah, okay, it's just really showing through. I drew a little spiral, and then I put little flowers all over it. So that's that side. And then the thing I wanted to change about myself, interestingly enough, also ended up being a spiral, but it ended up kind of being a spiky spiral. So I put the thing that I like about myself and I would like to continue growing with is like being creative. I find that being creative really helps me feel good about myself, and it helps me kind of just get emotions and experiences and things out of my body and onto a more physical platform so that they're not stuck in my brain. But then on the other side, I drew this spiral, and I think it was interesting because, like, I started out with a blue marker, and it was running out of ink. And so then I grabbed another blue marker, and that was also running out of ink and looked like the same color. So as I drew my spiral, it was just running out of ink. And I was thinking about how, and then I grabbed the black marker, and that was also running out of ink. And none of the things on the good side of things I like about myself, none of those markers ran out of ink. They were all like so vibrant. And I thought that was really interesting because we tend to be really hard on ourselves. And I think that that's just interesting symbolism for me, and I'm going to take that and run with it. But one of the questions, I'm going to read the questions again because I like to hear things multiple times. What do you like about yourself and what do you want to change? Which side of the paper is emphasized? And how can you begin changing undesirable actions, lifestyles, relationships, and or traits? So I think that's interesting because sometimes we focus so much on changing ourselves that we forget to experience and enjoy the parts of ourselves that are good. And for me, in my experiment, the side that I liked about myself ended up being more clear than the side that I didn't like about myself. But visually, when I look at it, I'm kind of drawn to the darker colors. And I find that when I spiral into that portion of myself, it's really hard to get out of. So maybe utilizing those creative experiences when I notice that I'm starting to go down that spiral would help me go down this other spiral of being creative. I don't know. Those are just my thoughts about my experience with this activity. Definitely do a little reflecting about your own. If you'd like to share them, I'd love to hear about it. And if you'd like to keep that to yourself for your own personal growth, do it. Absolutely. That's everything I have for today.